Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to Babe in Library. It's your girl Lisa, and today we're doing an ARC review of Evelyn Lay's Elevator Pitch. Now, I need y'all to understand one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I'm going to rep for my city, and so I love that Evelyn Lay is a St. Louis native, and you can see it in the vibes of this book. Now, I'm only 18% of the way through, so you're going to get my steps each and every way through this book, but right now, I'm loving it, and it was told to me that I would love it as well. This has a lot of kinships and connections to me, not only from a St. Louis native to a St. Louis native, but the vibes and which are in this book seems like it's immaculate. First of all, from a writing standpoint, Evelyn is so freaking funny that I'm laughing out loud. She starts off with, in the writing sense, a dictionary. And when I say that, I mean emphasis on the DICK of the dictionary. And that is telling us something that I've never seen before. It's telling us all of the chapters that may have some intimate scenes. So for the girls that love the spice like myself, you're going to read this book all the way through. For the women and them and theys that do not necessarily like all of that heavy smut or all that heavy spice, she lets you know up front, yeah, these are the chapters you may want to skip by, or these are the chapters you may want to peruse through, just knowing that, you know, something is coming your way. And I think that that is amazing to be able to see, because again, not everything is for everyone, but if the author does it correctly, they can find a way to make their book be what they need for all of their audience. So I love seeing that in the book. Some other things that I really enjoy is the preface of this book talks about Evelyn's journey, because one thing that she does make mention of, that this has some content warnings and some trigger warnings, because Evelyn, like her main male character, Selah, has dealt with domestic violence in the past. And so it is going in with that sensitivity and knowing that your readers may experience something harmful and putting that up front so that they know to care for themselves. And I loved being able to, for her as an author, to express herself and advise why she's writing it, how this story really was therapeutic for her, as well as this has neurodivergent representation, as well as ADHD representation. So again, there's a lot that's put into this book, but it's dealt and handled with such love and care. And no better hero so far than Grayson. Like, I love that we're getting a main male character that is so consumed with a female main character that he is going above and beyond what he normally does. Like, this has some of the cutest elements. Their meet cute actually reminds me a lot of Jasmine Guillory's Meet Cute in The Wedding Date, because it starts in an elevator, and that book is very nostalgic for me. So being able to see that Evelyn is picking up certain themes of books that I have loved in the past, not necessarily saying that she's doing it intentionally, but it's with the cognizant thought of me in mind, that's what I'm correlating it to, having a great time. So our main male character, Grayson, he is actually an app developer, and it's surprising that he runs into Selah, because Selah starts off this book as going on a very terrible date through this dating app, and she's like, I'm having the worst luck. I don't want to deal with men. Actually, I want to go back into my room and read from my Kindle. And Selah is the book girly that we all are. Like, there's never a time where I'm going out without some access to a book, whether it's on my phone, whether I bring my Kindle or a physical book. So she's standing at the elevator reading her book, and she is not paying Grayson any mind. And Grayson is absolutely captivated by her, which is rare, because again, he just came out of a relationship, and he's actually leaving an engagement party for his ex. So in my mind, I have a prediction that Grayson is going to ask her to be his date to a wedding, and I'm hoping that is what happens, because I can't wait to see the sparks fly there. But Grayson is enamored with her, and he's just trying to get her to notice him, and so he sparks up a conversation, and still Selah is like, oh yeah, I'm reading a book, this is what the name is, not knowing that he is going to go read it to be able to find another way to converse with her, because he's just seeing how captivated she is by this book, and he wants her to be just as captivated by him. And so when I tell you I'm having having the best time. I can't wait to read through this a little bit more because they both have some really strong friendships. Selah group of friends, there is 2 or 3 females that she has found and connected with. They are all living in New York City. Some of them are rich and living the glamorous life. One even has a bodyguard, but that bodyguard and that girl's boyfriend are also a part of this reading club, and they have some of the best times. One of the games that they play that absolutely captures my attention is they come to brunch and talk about the terrible dates that they've been on for that week, and whoever is the winner gets their brunch paid for. And I thought that that was such a clever and cute concept. I can't wait to see more of their friendship dynamics and see Grayson play into that, because he meets one of her friends in the elevator and tells, hey, you're reading this book that a girl that I'm interested in is reading. Can you let her know that I've read it and I love to talk to her about it? And I'm like, baby, you're gonna go far with this. If you're getting her friends involved, you're showing your interest, this is going to carry you the way through. And then on the opposite side, I love that Grayson has 2 best friends, Alex and Elena, and their banter and the way that they support him, and they, you know, are angry on his behalf about his ex, and the way that they want him to get out, and Elena makes sure that he eats because he's always focused on work, work, work. So I can't wait to read more of this. This one comes out September 28th. Please check it out. I will let you know some more of my thoughts as I continue reading. Here to actually wrap up this video. This is going to be one of my quicker reading vlogs because I devoured this book. This book is how you do a debut novel. I read this in nearly 2 sittings, and that is how gripping the story was. I loved everything about it, especially because you can see how much the author put herself into this book. This has a little bit of something for everyone. If you are a foodie, you get a lot of food references. Grayson is a stress cooker, so you get to see that he bakes for Selah's best friends. He decides to share recipes. His mother comes into the book and she creates a birthday dinner for him, and you get to see about all of the cultural dishes that he brings to the table. You can feel the atmosphere in the coffee shop and the things that they order, the pastries that are brought to life via the page. And so if you are a foodie, this definitely will resonate with you. If you are a person that loves music, this definitely has something for you. Each and every one of Selah's tattoos are music references. So they're a line from a song or a title from a song, which I found really, really cool. Evelyn also has a bomb playlist that she matches and mirrors with the contents of the book. And so if you're curious, I would tell you to also read and listen to her playlist at the same time. What I found interesting is not only did she give you the playlist, she added songs that were not necessarily on her playlist that brought so much contextual knowledge to the intimate relationship that happens in the book. So you get a little bit more nuggets of songs that you can add to your own personal playlist in the story that was not already built in her Apple or Spotify. If you're an animal lover, it has some of the most cuddly, adorable pets. Selah has a pet cat named Peach. I'm assuming it is an orange tabby. You have Grayson's dog, who is a big red dog named Clifford, and Daya's dog is a Dalmatian named Marshall, which is very, very cute and very punny. I believe that Audrey has a dog named Ghost. I'm assuming it is a white dog, but I don't know exactly what breed it is. But you can just see that the author has a creative and funny way to, you know, acknowledge pets and to also resonate them with some of the characters that we love. I'd like to take a moment to talk about Grayson. From a character standpoint, he is definitely book boyfriend material. 2024, this is his year. He deserves a gold medal. He embodies every single one of your love languages. He loves to do acts of service for Selah. So I love that he built her a book nook and he understood exactly all of her interests. He took time to get to know her. He would ask her for songs that he would play on his morning commute. So he was really in tune with what Selah brought to the table and the things that she liked, and also fed into that. He loved spending quality time with her. He wanted to be in her present 24/7 if possible. He altered a lot of his day-to-day working styles to be in her orbit, which is one of the cool things. You learn that Selah is going through therapy, which I'm going to come back to the therapy conversation, but one of the things that her therapist tells her to do is have immersion therapy. And so you get to learn some therapy tactics. And what she does is she decides to go to the coffee shop. And there, Grayson runs into her, and then they set up regular standing dates. And that is what helped her feel comfortable being back in society. And he helps her through that without even knowing that this is something that is really, really important to her. She tells him that she's going to immersion therapy and that's why she's there. But he decides that he wants to be in her presence and be with her. And I thought that that was very, very sweet, especially for her as a character, because she has anxiety and ADHD rep. She is dealing with something that's traumatic, again, unbeknownst to him, but he just wants to make her feel comfortable and safe and have her go at the pace, because by this time he's already smitten and in love. As I'm talking about therapy, I will say that I appreciate that Evelyn made this a large factor, not in only Selah's life, but in all of the characters' life. And she really stressed the importance that therapy is important for people of all ages, of all demographics, that it can help anyone depending on the situation. Because not only was Selah in therapy, you learn a little bit later, other characters are either in therapy or going to therapy, and that it begins to be a common theme, which I think it should be for all of adults and even into children, because there's all things that we could use, you know, arsenals in our toolkit, and that we can help build a healthy discussion. Back to Grayson, because again, I just think that he needs so much attention. You will say that he has, you know, some of the other love languages. He does gifts really well. He has intimate touch down. Let me tell you, again, as I talked about earlier on, I love that Evelyn put in a dictionary, because if you are not a Spice reader, these scenes will have you questioning whether or not you really should be a Spice reader or not, because they are sizzling. When I tell you Grayson is brilliant, but he's also bossy. He is a pleasure dom. And the pleasure that he brings to Selah, like, he gives her everything. He gives her comfort. He gives her peace. She does the exact same for him. And they never really force each other out of their comfort zone. They are very much in tune with one another, checking in, establishing boundaries. They also went as far as to set up rules. And that's one of the things that I love, because every single rule that, you know, comes into a book that someone creates undeniably is going to be broken, because rules are made to be broken, and these two break them exceptionally well. They both went into this situation not necessarily wanting love, but wanting something more. Selah wanted to feel alive again. She wanted to get back on the dating scene. She wanted to start to immerse herself back into who she was before she went through this traumatic experience. And Grayson did not necessarily want to fall in love, because he had been married before. He had known his faults. He had done a lot wrong, but he wanted to establish a connection with someone, and he fell for Selah. And I just loved that they went at their own pace without establishing and worry about the boundaries. They just wanted to develop that friendship, and that friendship turned into so much more, and it blossomed and grew between the two of them. This was a fantastic book. fantastic representation. I will say the communication, all of the parties are adults. And even so much as going to meet Aileen, who was his ex-wife, when we find out and learn, you know, how both of them took ownership in the dissolution of their marriage, and how we got to see how at the wedding that Selah was going to, Selah could have not gone to the wedding. There was an instance where she had a choice. Do she go to the wedding with Grayson and pretend that everything is okay, that they are in a relationship? Did she put on that front, given what had happened between the two of them? When she got to the wedding, because again, anxiety is real, she could have had a lot of eyes looking on her. She could have fled. Even when there was something that happened where Grayson had to interact with the bride, which was Aileen, his ex-wife, that could have been a miscommunication, right? And I love that Evelyn did not put miscommunication in the form of, does Grayson have feelings for her or not? It was unequivocally clear what his interest and his dedication was. And I love that she made everybody communicative and made everybody adults. And so most people would have gone in and hoped that there was drama or that there was tension. And I love that she didn't take that pathway. Don't get me wrong. There are bumps and bruises along the way. As you get closer to the end, I love being able to see Grayson's relationship with his parents, him learning a lot more, because in reality, you learn a lot more about your parents once you become adults, and the things that you didn't see as a child, the things that you didn't have exposure to, the things that you just weren't present or knowledgeable about, you get to see how their lives impacted your lives, maybe without you knowing, or with you being present and just seeing it from a different lens. So I loved that Grayson had a moment with his father, and that in turn sparked something in him. Selah really did grow as a character. You could see her growth from the beginning. I love that she started out with she going to therapy and establishing rules for herself. She gave herself permission when she was on some terrible dates of, hey, I've got a 3-strike rule. If they make the 3 strikes, I don't feel guilty about leaving, because she knew she was a people pleaser. The author did not put Selah in a situation where she had to deal with a person that caused her trauma, because some authors will do that, will make them physically face their abuser or their demon or the situation that happened front on. And that doesn't necessarily need to be the case for every person. So I appreciate that Evelyn did not make her go through undue harm or undue stress, because I've seen some reviews, some early reviews of this book, and I've seen people say this wasn't angsty enough. It wasn't traumatic enough. First and foremost, we are not owed anybody's pain or anybody's trauma. And I love that not only did she not feel like she had to give us that, she also didn't make it seem like we were owed that information. We got information as time progressed when it was important for the two characters to share it with one another. And they did not dig deeper. They did not push those boundaries. And I respect and appreciate Evelyn for doing that. Needless to say, I thoroughly enjoy this book. I can't wait to read more. I can't wait to see what Evelyn does with her next book, because I am hopeful that we get more of these stories. I'm hopeful that I get to see more of Elena and Alex. I'm hopeful that I get to see Rome and Audrey. I'm hopeful that Eric gets his love interest, even if it is with one of the girls, if it's Chess or Dea. I can't wait to see more, and I hope that she has a successful launch. If you are interested in this book, please go check her out. Again, she is a St. Louis native, and I appreciate having this arc. If you want to leave me a sunflower emoji or tell me what you plan on reading for the fall, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.